Hey mathematicians, let's do your homework. Okay, so the first problem says the shaded area of the grid represents the part of a workout that Mia has completed. You want to watch out for these words because sometimes I'm going to ask you about what's completed and sometimes I'm going to ask you about what's not completed. So what decimal represents the part of the workout she has completed? Double checking. Okay, yeah, the shaded part is what she has completed. So you count up how many are shaded. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. 32 out of how many? This one you can recognize is probably a hundreds grid. You can double check, but it is. Later you're going to have to count more carefully because they're not all going to be out of 100. Okay, 32 out of 100. You can change that to a decimal right now. That's 0 wholes and 32 hundredths. That's all I'm looking for here. Next one. The shaded area represents the part of a project that he has completed. What fraction represents this value? Again, you're counting up your shaded ones. You're making a fraction out of the total. Don't care if it's shaded or unshaded, just how many squares. This would give you 88 out of 100, which you're going to have to simplify before you can find your answer. Oh, here we go. A double whammy, not out of 100, and also a not problem. The shaded area represents the part of the journey that Noah has completed. So this part is complete. What decimal represents the part that he has not completed? So we're looking for a decimal to represent this unshaded part. Not complete. Okay, so the ones that are not complete, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. By 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 16, not complete. Out of the total drawing, all the boxes, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Don't pick B. That says 16 hundredths. You need this to be out of 100. Decide what you're going to scale up by and find the equivalent fraction, which you can then change to a decimal. Next page. This one's asking what percent. Read carefully. Some of these want fractions, some want decimals, some want percents. What percent represents the part that she's finished, and the shaded area represents what she's read so far, which means finished. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25 boxes, because 5 times 5 makes 25. You can't make a percent out of 25ths. Percents are out of 100. So decide what you're going to multiply by. That's still not your answer. You then have to change that into a percent. That's what I want, a percent. Alicia's learning a new dance for the dance team. The shaded area represents the part she has already learned. What percent represents the part of the dance that she still needs to learn? Okay, so this is already learned. But I'm actually asking you about still needs to. Needs to learn. Whoops, needs should all be on one line. To learn. So count them up, make a fraction, change that fraction to be out of 100, and then you can change that to a percent. Janai found the model below on her math test last year. Which decimal represents the fraction that's shaded? Write me a fraction that's the part out of the whole thing. Change it to be out of 100. Oh, no, wait, I'm going to do that one with you. That's 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The reason I chose to do this one with you is because you cannot multiply 6 times a whole number to make 100. You can get close, but you're not going to get there. So if you don't know a scale factor, you can always divide your fractions, and that will tell you the equivalent decimal. Numerator goes in, denominator goes out. I'm going to need to add something here, so I'm going to add a decimal and a couple zeros, because I see there are at least 2 place values here. 6 goes into 1 0 times. Raise that decimal to the roof. 6 goes into 10 1 time. I immediately start looking over, because if there was anything that started with a number other than 1, we could cross it off, but they all start with 1s. All right, bring down your 0. 6 goes into 40 6 times, so C is wrong. But these both have 6s, so we're not done yet. 6 times 6 is 36. That has a remainder of 4. Bring down a 0. 40 again. Oh, that's going to be another 6. And 36. And 4. And you should be seeing the pattern that you're like, no, stop. It's never going to end. Even though I have a 6 and then another 6 here, you could also say this 6 is repeating because it's just 6s from that point on. So B. Last one. Jose found the model below in his math test last year. What percent, they're all in percents, represents the fraction not shaded? Don't write 3 out of 4. That's what is shaded. You want not shaded, the white one. Make that a fraction, change that fraction into a percent, and you're done with your homework.